Welcome tonight to the regular session of our Canfield School Board meeting, July 12th, 2023. At this time, I'd like a call to order, please.
Mrs. DeCapua, President.
Here.
Mr. Atway, Vice President.
Here.
Mr. Campbell. Mr. Smallwood.
Here.
Mr. Wilkeson.
Here.
We'd all please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. At this time, I'm going to actually hand it over to Mr. Knoll and myself. We are going to recognize at this time our 2023 retirees from the Canfield School District. Okay. Darlene Dalvin has 14 years in as our elementary school psychologist. Diana Liggett Fox has been with us for 31 years as our 8th grade science teacher. And I'm sorry, but she is not here today to accept her award. We will get it to her. As well, Michael Moldovan, also who is not with us today, but has been with us 22 years as the Canfield High School principal. Alicia Muzina, who has been with us 16 years as our CHS intervention specialist. Edie Narducci has been with us for 40 years, 2nd grade teacher, Hilltop Elementary School. And again, Edie's not with us today, but we will make sure that she gets her token of our appreciation. Judy Parsons has been with us for 32 years as our 6th grade math teacher. Tom Skurich has been with us for 24 years as our CHS vocal music teacher. And Carol Young has been with us 10 years as our district literacy coach. Gail DeMilo has been with us 24 years as a special needs aide. Oh, sorry, Gail is not here as well. David Dickey has been with us 17 years as our CHS custodian. Claire Glove has been with us for 29 years as our Hilltop special needs aide. Terry Hutchison has been with us for 32 years as our food services director. And Janice Cabezzo has been with us for 45 years as our secretary to the treasurer. At this time, yeah, that is everybody. At this time, I would like to congratulate everyone. If we total up those years, it's more than, well, I had math. It's a lot. It's a lot. So congratulations, everyone. Thank you. We appreciate everything you have done for and with our district, and you will be greatly missed. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I would like to go through our student resolutions. We have 1 through 18 for 2024. At this time, whereas the Canfield High School softball team was named AAC co-champs, regional champs, district champs, and state runner-up. And whereas Melina Toth was named First Team All AAC, AAC Co-Player of the Year, First Team All NEO, and First Team All State in softball. And whereas Haley Freedy was named First Team All AAC and First Team All NEO in softball. And whereas Gianna Panunzio was named First Team All AAC in softball. And whereas Jenna Treveri was named First Team All AAC in softball. And whereas AJ Havrilla was named First Team All AAC, All Ohio, and Co-Player of the Year in baseball. And whereas Ben Slanker was named First Team All AAC and All Ohio in baseball. And whereas Michael Patelis was named First Team All AAC and Co-Player of the Year in baseball. And whereas Jamison Beck was named First Team All AAC in baseball. And whereas Logan Kajevek was named First Team All AAC in baseball. And whereas Tanner Stricka was named First Team All AAC in baseball. And whereas Blake Baker was named First Team All AAC, a 4x800 regional qualifier, 3,200 meter run regional qualifier, and district champ in boys track. And whereas Jason Hammer was 800 meter run regional qualifier and 4x800 regional qualifier in boys track. And whereas Amir Ali was discus regional qualifier in boys track. And whereas Matt Vanetti was 4x800 regional qualifier in boys track. And whereas Jack Cadillac was 4x800 regional qualifier in boys track. And whereas Ava Littler was a state qualifier in girls track. And whereas Drew Shapiro was named First Team All AAC in boys tennis. And whereas these accomplishments brought honor to themselves, their families, and their school, therefore be it resolved that these students be commended for these outstanding accomplishments, and that these resolutions be spread upon the official minutes of the Canfield Board of Education, and that copies be presented to them. Ladies and gentlemen, phenomenal seasons for all of you. Great game. I was at both your games. Great softball, ladies, great softball. Thank you and congratulations. Okay, at this time, may I have a motion from the board to enter into executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee.
So moved. I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Wilkerson, Mr. Artway. At this time, we will be entering, roll call please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes. At this time, we will be going into executive session. We will be coming back to the...
That was it.
We will be coming back to the table. I just can't give you a firm time. So you may stay, or at this time, you may take your leave. at 7:35. And I'm gonna turn it over to our superintendent for his presentation.
All right, well, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll try to speed things up a little bit since we're a little longer than normal, but welcome everybody in person, those of you joining us virtually tonight. So first update, a couple weeks ago, we made a switch on our website to a new company. And when we made that transition, we lost everything that's in front of you on the screen. All of our social media went down, sadly. So George, I just chatted with a little bit ago, was kind enough to go to work for me. But long story short, we have to start all over again. All right, so all 4 of these venues are up and running now. All right, I posted a little bit last night. So here's my plea. Like me, share me, get on there, get back connected with Canfield Schools, all right? Because we're gonna go back at it again. But that transition set us back a little bit, but we're okay. We're moving forward and jump in there. Also on our webpage, we made that switch, like I said, to a different vendor, but our webpage is up and running, and all of our facility information, okay, from months ago is still on there. Okay, so if you go to that facility project tab, you'll be able to get everything, all the presentations we've done over all the months, and everything moving forward, okay? I do want to talk about this. I know there's been some conversation. I think the word's out, but I do want to talk a little bit about maybe a month or so ago, we talked about Representative Catrona's attempt to get $33 million, an amendment in the budget bill. Sadly, it was not included in the final budget and signed by the governor, so those dollars were not there. Our hope was we could use these funds to help with our facilities and building project. But with that being said, I do want to thank the representative. He's been here, he's walked the grounds, he knows the needs in the district, and I do want to thank him for his continued commitment and support to the Canfield local schools, even though that did not come to fruition. So last board meeting, I talked a little bit about an update to the project costs, and I just wanted to highlight that again tonight. And as we start talking over the next couple months about this bond later, I'm going to continue to discuss this, but whoops, sorry about that. Right here, where we have this Hilltop Site Safety Allowance, that $300,000, we had to add that into the project since our committee last met, okay, and we talked about this last board meeting. But that site safety allowance is important. Talk to the TDA and obviously the FCC, and we want to put that in there. Basically what that allows us to do is when we do this traffic study, which we'll do, and there's needs to maybe add some signage, have a sidewalks adjusted, anything that happens on the outside of the building for safety, those $300,000 are going to come in and be part of that. So that's obviously a part of that project that we needed. And just a quick reminder, I know we talked about this a lot over the last couple of months, but you know, number one, we've got the renovations here to the high school, and that $15 million. We have our new middle school 5 through 8, about 43.8. Our new K4 building, that's at 38.7. You can see the abate demo numbers. Another big part of our committee, as you remember, is our folks said, hey, we needed additional gym space. Okay, one gym comes with your middle school building, but they recommended to add another one, and that's that 3.6. There will be some significant updates at the Hilltop property if we're going to double that population of our elementary kids. So we budgeted $1 million in for that. And then to renovate the current Hilltop, the committee's recommendation, the board's approval also is, let's take some of that space, renovate it, make it usable for my folks, treasurers, some other directors to come in there. It won't take up the whole building, obviously, but there'll be a section. And then, like I've been talking about for months, my hope is to get some community partners to join us over at Hilltop moving forward. That would be my vision. And then all in, total project, 104.9 is what we're looking at. So here's our site over at the Hilltop. Okay, we're looking a little bit less than 1,000 kiddos, 108,000 square feet. Talked a little bit about the upgrades and that kind of good stuff. Here's a site fit study of what it could look like, okay, from our architects. No guarantees yet, but as they're looking at things, this makes sense on putting it right there, okay? And then obviously continued on with the Hilltop building with different functions. Our new middle school, this is an arrow of the current aerial view of the current site, about 800 some students, 112,000 square feet. We talked about that second gym coming in. The new building is going to be built to the west of our current building. And then, obviously we'll continue in the current middle school until it's done, abated and demoed. So one option could look like this. Okay, and I know it's probably a little hard to see and a little blurry, but this picture, when we originally started talking, we talked about making it 3 floors, the academic wing, okay, being 3 floors up. We've had some more communications with TDA, and they said, well, we believe we could do this in 2 stories as well, okay? And this is the conversation we'll be having down the road. You can see with the 2-story picture, some of the facility kind of loops down to the south, okay, kind of like where my neck of the woods is there. So 2 options actually to move forward, and we'll obviously have more discussions and talk on that. And as you remember, I think I mentioned this, the city does have an ordinance that doesn't allow for 3 stories, but we did get some documentation from the city saying that they would make some exceptions for us moving forward if this is the route, whether it's the 3rd floor or if we just come back with a 2nd floor there. So, and I talked briefly about the renovations here at the high school. We've earmarked about $15 million for that. Our biggest need's right above us, and obviously that's the roof. For those of you that have been on our parking lot, it needs some loving, so we're going to allocate some money there, along with a lot of our drainage issues that we have. We have some foundation problems that we need to take a look at, and hopefully there's some money left over. We'd like to continue working on some windows and lighting as well. I do want to throw this out here. This is the first time you're going to hear it. But in our strategic plan, which is that 02 goal right there, this is a goal for the treasurer. All right, so what she is planning is a question and answer session, basically giving our community an update on the financial standing. So what we're going to do is we're going to get together on Tuesday, July 25th, right here. The treasurer, Ms. Prince, is going to start the presentation, kind of give an update on the finances. I'm going to take some time to talk a little bit more about the bond issue. Okay, so we'll have a 7 p.m. start. I could see this her probably take a half hour, me about the same, so maybe an hour or so, but want to get that information out to our community. Everybody is invited, obviously, to come and kind of get some updates on the finances and facilities moving forward. And thank you very much.
Okay. At this time, our minutes, which we previously had from June 14th and June 30th, which was a special meeting, may I have a motion to approve those minutes as presented, please?
So moved. I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes. At this time, Ms. Prince, would you like to review our financials?
Yes. These are reports as of the end of May. We're still working on closing out June for the fiscal year. On the cash summary report, I wanted to point out the food service fund. You'll notice we started 700,000, and at the end of May we're at 950, which really pleased to see that after this was the first year that we did not receive all the federal COVID money assistance in the food service fund. So we were back selling lunches and so forth, and with a new food service director, so had a nice increase there. And again, items on the 3rd page, the grants and so forth, we have worked really hard in cleaning those up this past month, and that'll look very different on the June 30th report. The check payment register, at the 4th item down, the one payroll you'll see is at $883,000, which is substantially more than our normal $700,000 payrolls. That's due to several of the retirees that were June 1st retirees, and we had severance payments that went out to them in the last pay in May prior to their retirement. And then just to point out again, I've mentioned this before, but last page, the 3rd item from the bottom, the Mahoning County School Employee Insurance Consortium, $324,000. That again is our monthly cost for medical insurance. It's a hefty tab, but I want to keep pointing that out to you. The purchase order register New items start at the bottom of page 12, and there aren't many new items because we're at the end of the fiscal year. Nothing really unusual. You see the Camp Fitch payment on there and a purchase of fuel from Truck World, but everything else is kind of minor, small stuff. And then the investment report, rates are still going up, and interesting that money market rates are at 5.3%. So again, leaving the money in short-term money market, because the CD rates are not as good as that. So, any questions?
We good?
Could we have a motion to approve the reports, please?
Motion, Smallwood. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes. Do we have any public comments?
Yes. Go ahead. I don't care. Ed Kay?
Ed Kay from Edward Street in Campfield here. Since the June board meeting, when a new school plan and the costs were announced, there's naturally been a lot of discussion and questions throughout the community. While my time now is limited, I don't have time to go over all of the questions or comments that I've heard, but I can give you a short list of the most common questions that are floating around out there, so maybe you guys can be aware of some of the things that are going to be asked and coming up. Number one was, why does a small administrative staff need the large hilltop building that will need to be maintained throughout the entire year, as well as spending over $350,000 for renovations? I heard that, what were the determining factors in choosing not to utilize the Shields Road property that would have helped eliminate problems with traffic control, logistics, and mostly student safety during construction? It simply doesn't make any sense to use not to use a property with ample space, but to rather choose to squeeze or shoehorn a building, and those were your guys' words, onto a lot not suited for it. Since the two elementary schools will be combined into one, does the board have any plans to help cut costs by eliminating any duplicated positions like principals, office staff, or maintenance staff? Have the traffic problems that will be created on Edward Street and 224 been looked into, as well as the Hilltop area where the student enrollment will be doubled? It already mentioned about Mr. Cotrona's money not coming through, and people had asked her, and you get change in the plans because of that, not receiving that money. We understand that if the bond is passed, that the money is earmarked strictly for construction. I've been asked, and I can't answer these questions of people, who will be responsible to oversee all expenditures? And since there currently exists a certain degree of mistrust within the community with the school system, will the person responsible operate independently and outside of the school system and report to the public? Edward Street is an extremely narrow residential road rated for light duty traffic only, not for heavy duty construction vehicles, delivery trucks, or concrete trucks. Who's going to be responsible to maintain the road and make repairs to all the expected damages? And all you have to do now is take a look at the fire lane, and you can see how it's been destroyed by buses and trucks. Question I've been asked is, do all of the board members, including the superintendent, live within the community where their property taxes will be impacted as well as everybody else with the bond levy? When between the May and June board meetings were discussions held concerning not to utilize the Shields Road property, but to accept option A? The Ohio Sunshine Law Rule 3358.17 states that with the exception of 6 specifically stated reasons, all board discussions shall be announced and open to the public and not held in private or in executive sessions. So these are just a few of the questions that are out there. that people are asking in order to make a decision on how they want to support the school levy or not. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. K. You know what? I'll work on getting you some answers to those questions, okay?
Lori Moore?
If you'll just please state your name and address, please. Thank you.
Laurie Moore, Brookport Drive. Maybe I'll stand back here.
I apologize.
That was me, sorry. That was you? I turned it off there.
Okay, I'm sorry. We're not gonna blow up, I promise.
Like, okay.
I don't know what it's
Waiting for
called.
the spark.
I know.
I have a question that I've heard floating around, and I just want to know if it's true, not true. So I just want like a yes or no answer. Is it true that chickens were released within the high school?
Mr. Knoll.
That answer is yes, as a senior prank.
And so my follow-up question to that is, did the students involved have to clean it up, or did the taxpayers pay for that?
I don't 100% know that answer. Mr. Bitter, I don't know if you heard any.
I do not know that
conversations
answer.
or not. Yeah. I was not made aware of any like major damage or excessive mess. From what I saw, just some ornery seniors as a senior prank, but I wasn't made aware of any damages or anything of a significant nature.
I'm hoping that we start to teach civics again and respect. One of the things that I would like to see back in the curriculum, because I think it's very much needed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason Henry?
Jason Henry, I live on Montgomery Court. Just a follow-up to my comments from the last school board meeting. I understand that the school has decided to pick up the tab for the other athletic uniforms that were in question, but still not the cheerleading uniforms. That's my understanding, and you can correct me if otherwise, but just curious as to how that group gets singled out as to not warrant the support of the school district for their uniforms when, you know, we buy the basketball and lacrosse and soccer and all the other uniforms. Again, as a member of the Gridiron, you know, we've expressed our support that we'd be willing to, you know, help defray the cost of that. But we had been hoping that the school board was gonna kick in for that. So just keep it out there that all the extracurriculars should get the same support from the school system. Thank you.
Mr. Henry, how much are those uniforms?
I believe that the cost was just south or north of $10,000.
And how many girls, sir?
Ooh, I don't know the answer to that question.
I can find out, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I
I was just curious.
yeah.
What was your question?
How many
girls?
cheerleaders
Kids.
do we have? And that's 9 through 12, correct?
9 through 12, basketball and football. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
That's all we've got, right? Mr. Knoll, back to you.
All right, so we'll do a little consent agenda for personnel and a resignation. Renee English, the high school English teacher / media center, effective July 1 of 23. Also Mike Cochran, athletic director, effective August 1 of 23. Under hiring, we have Joyce Stouffer, high school math teacher, effective August 1, 2023 at $55,280. Dr. Mark Potts, a 3-year administrative contract, August 1 of 23 through July 31 of 26, assigned to the high school principal at $100,000. And Richard Prescott, a 3-year administrative contract, August 1st of 23 through July 31st of 26, assigned to the high school assistant principal at $95,000. Under hiring and classified, we have Thomas DeLuca, who's in the house tonight as well. Our sound and lighting guy, technician, $13 an hour. Under hiring for our licensed daily subs, we have three. Amy Hensdale, we have Kaylin Holloway, and Jason Burrell. They will be serving as daily subs at $110 a day. Also, we have a recommendation for our hiring of extracurriculars found in resolution number 23-2024. Approve our classified subs, Janice Cabezzo, Carla Hood, Stephen Kupik, Rachel Graffiti, and Nicole Zenko, all those folks in exhibit number 4. And finally, I'd like to recommend the approval of a 3% wage increase for our food service supervisor effective 8/1/23.
Okay, based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve our new business resignations, hiring of licensed and extracurriculars and classified substitutes?
So moved. Smallwood?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Well, also in the house are our two new principals at the high school. So for Dr. Potts and Mr. Prescott, welcome aboard, man. Appreciate you being
Congratulations
here.
and welcome.
Ready to go.
Good luck.
Good luck and nice to have you aboard.
Sure is.
Okay, roll call please.
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
And we need to appoint a delegate and alternate to the OSBA annual business meeting for the big conference.
I would suggest Matt, because he's not here.
I second that.
Oh, man.
All right.
You guys are rough.
That's what happens when you're not
You're
here.
not what you don't
You
intend.
snooze, you lose.
Oh, boy. So, Mr. Campbell, and,
Sounds good.
I don't hear any negative.
No.
Okay. Who's it?
what's that?
Do you want to be alternate?
You don't have to. Who's the alternate?
Tracy, do you want to be alternate?
Mr. Kepler?
I can be out there, but
Mr. Smallwood, alternate?
sure.
Nice, okay. All right.
Okay. Not sure who it is.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Smallwood, yeah.
Take one for the team.
There you go. So on number 3, I'd like to recommend approval of our out-of-state overnight field trips in exhibit number 5. We have a cross-country team to Raccoon Creek Lake State Park in Kutztown, PA, July 30th through August 3rd. Participates in team bonding as well as the middle school cross-country team going to the same place as well.
Okay, based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve our out-of-state overnight field trips as presented in exhibit 5?
So moved. Smallwood?
Second, Wilkerson.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
And I'd like to recommend the approval of our grant program applications for fiscal year 24, the IDEA Title I, Title IIA, Title IVA, and IDEA Early Childhood.
Okay, based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve our grant program applications for 2024?
So moved. Smallwood?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
And I'd like to recommend approval of bus stops as per attached, and as always, they are subject to change from exhibit number 6.
Based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve our bus stops?
So moved. Smallwood?
I'll second. DeCapua? Any discussion? When will that go on our website? Because we're gonna start getting.
Yeah, I'm not sure when their usual plan of attack is on that.
Okay.
I know we usually try to, when we have the open houses, we talk to parents that night, so I would assume around open house time,
Okay. Okay.
like the second week in
And,
August.
and by the way, just to bring this up, we don't post them. Years ago, we posted them on the windows, and it's
Right.
because of privacy and security. So, if anybody wants to know why that doesn't happen
Well,
anymore,
we have
that's
that
why.
nice program as well now too,
Right.
the
Yeah.
Transfinder
Right.
that takes care of all that. for us,
Okay,
too.
perfect. Roll call please.
Mr. Atlee?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
And I'd like to recommend the adoption of resolution number 19-2024 to accept the master facility plan for the OFCC partnership program. That was exhibit number 7.
Based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to adopt resolution 19-2024, the master facility plan?
So moved.
Second, Smallwood.
Any discussion? Just, roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
And number 7, I'd like to recommend adopting resolution number 20-2024, the intent to pass or provide the equivalent to the half-mil maintenance requirement. That was exhibit number 8.
Based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve resolution 2024? 2024. I did that right. Okay.
So moved, Smallwood.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
I'd like to recommend adoption of resolution number 21-2024, determining and proceeding with submitting the question of the issuance of the school improvement bonds. That was exhibit number 9.
Based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve resolution 2024?
So moved.
Second.
A discussion.
So these are, just to be clear for everyone, these are the bonds that would ultimately go for the buildings, correct?
Yeah, this is
puts
to
us on the ballot
Yeah,
at
get the money.
7.5 mils.
And I think the only discussion or comment that I'd want to make is just, I've heard comments on the large sum of the price tag, but I think it's important to understand that we are cognizant of that, and it's not something that we're minimizing in any way, shape, or form, but clearly we realize that if we were to try to segment this, it's just going to be avoiding the inevitable, like Mr. Wilkerson's mentioned before. So I think it's up to us now to kind of take this on and educate the community as to why we feel that this is the best solution going forward for the schools and for the students.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
I'd like to recommend adopting resolution number 22-2024 regarding the employment of substitute teachers. That was exhibit number 10.
Based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve resolution 22-2024?
So moved.
Second, Smallwood.
Any discussion? Quick recap, I know there's a difference this year with hiring our substitute.
Yeah, we're working with the COG in the county. We are hoping to attract some more substitutes by looking at the requirements that we now currently have. So I give the COG credit. I mean, it's hard to find good people for subs, not just in Canton, but countywide.
Right, right, okay.
That's the goal.
All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
And I'd like to recommend amending resolution number 222-2023, declaring transportation impractical for students as listed in exhibit number 12, which is now the new resolution number 24-2024.
Based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve the resolution 24-2024?
So moved, Smallwood.
A second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes, thank you. Okay, at this time, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, Smallwood.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, have an awesome night. Hope to see you here next month.